Was Ruvik. It was him.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Young here and welcome to a trailer analysis of The Evil Within. This particular trailer was first shown at Sony's pre-TGS conference, and unlike the reveal trailer, all the footage was shot in-game. There's a lot to talk about, so without further ado, let's dive right into it.
What's happening up there?
Right off the bat, we are shown a scene with Sebastian Castellanos speaking to a staff member of the mental hospital soon before the mass murder occurs.
Unknown. Checking.
What do you mean unknown?
It is made perfectly clear that something weird is going on in that place, and finding out the mystery behind the asylum's abnormal circumstances will be at the core of the Evil Within story.
Please hurry.
We are then taken to the scene of the crime. Outside the mental hospital are empty police cars, almost as if they had gone in to investigate and never came back. Players will encounter this particular scene very early in the game. Soon after, we are given a look at the three main protagonists, Sebastian Castellanos, Joseph Oda, and Julie Kidman. Thus far, only Sebastian has been confirmed to be a playable character. As for what police department they work for, that information is provided in this scene when we are given a close look at the car. The footage is kind of blurry since it was taken directly off the live stream, but from what I can make out, it reads Crimson Police Department, and that's Crimson with an E. If you happen to have a better idea of what it reads, be sure to let our nation know in the comments below. Anyways, once the trio surveys the area, they make their way into the mental hospital, only to find that all staff members have been brutally murdered.
Smells like blood. Alright, stay sharp.
It's the police. Anybody there?
This is unbelievable.
But by what exactly? Well, that is where things get a little complicated. We get a glimpse of the perpetrator through the security camera footage, which reveals a specter with superhuman powers swatting away police officers like flies. I initially thought this was a woman, but Sebastian's dialogue spoken moments later reveals otherwise.
What?
Was Ruvik. It was him.
He mutters some kind of name,
Was Ruvik.
and then says,
It was him.
it was him. The trailer seems to suggest that Sebastian recognizes the specter, and since he uses the word him to describe it, it's safe to assume that there's a man behind the cloak. It is also safe to assume that this specter is the one responsible for Sebastian's kidnapping into this world of madness. As Sebastian speaks his dialogue, we are shown flashes of some of the game's various settings, from dark, narrow hallways, isolated rooms, abandoned interiors, monster-occupied locations, to whatever this is. The footage is extremely blurry, so I can't make out where this is, but based on the fact that this ball of light looks like the sun, I'm going to guess that this is an exterior environment. These tropical-looking trees were likely planted nearby a building as decoration, but I don't see any tropical-looking trees nearby the mental hospital, so could this be the exterior of another facility altogether? The flashes also give us a look at some of Sebastian's various ways of traversing the environment. Screenshots have already shown that Sebastian can get into this low stealth position, but this footage shows that he can also go for a full-out sprint, and if you look closely, you will also get to see Sebastian limping. My guess would be that the character will start limping once he loses a significant amount of health, very similar to Resident Evil games. Finally, in the flashes, we get to bear witness to one of many creatures found throughout the game, the Butcher, a formidable foe that players can expect to encounter multiple times.
It was him.
And bam, there's the Japanese title of the game, Psycho Break. In most other countries, the game is known as The Evil Within. We are then shown some gameplay footage. Here we see Sebastian slowly opening a door. Players will likely be given the option to open doors in a number of ways, so those who are in a hurry can likely bash doors open. Here is yet another look at the Butcher, who players will meet and flee from early on in the game. And here's Sebastian climbing upstairs, with a door to some kind of attic behind him. Can't make a survival horror game without a creepy-ass attic. We are then taken to an exterior environment. This particular setting is likely the village-like setting shown in concept arts, which as you can see also contains piles of burning bodies. This setting reminds me a lot of the village portion of Resident Evil 4, which Shinji Mikami designed. It is still a mystery how Sebastian goes from an asylum to an abandoned village, but it's still good to know that we'll be playing through a variety of settings. We are then taken indoors once again, although this particular scene gives off a different vibe from the asylum, making me assume that it's a different setting altogether. Further supporting my suspicions are these weird contraptions that I can't make out due to the blurry nature of the footage, so if you have any idea what they could be, please be sure to let our nation know in the comments below. Then, for the third time, we are given a look at the Butcher, who yes, wields a chainsaw. Now, here is something interesting. As Sebastian opens this door, he triggers an alarm. Shinji Mikami has stated many times that traps will play a huge role in this game. It's not just about avoiding traps, but also about using traps against the enemy. Unfortunately for this player, he sprung one of the Butcher's alarm, forcing Sebastian to make a desperate escape. Next up, we are shown footage of these zombie-like creatures. I really like how Shinji Mikami gives these zombies a unique identity, with details like copper wires ensnaring their bodies and large debris embedded throughout. Best of all, they look like tough motherfuckers who players will struggle against, especially when you consider that ammo is scarce in this game. Finally, in this last scene, we are given a very close look at Reborn Lara, but before we get into that, note that Sebastian is wielding a shotgun in this footage, a weapon that is likely obtained an hour or two into the game, giving us a good idea of when this portion happens. Also note that Sebastian is wielding a lantern, which I have seen in a number of screenshots and concept arts. I think it is safe to expect that players won't have the luxury of wielding something like a flashlight or night vision goggles, meaning this lantern will likely be an essential source of light. And there she is, Reborn Lara, who to me looks like Spider-Woman during her period. She's truly one of the scariest looking creatures of the game, and not expect to have multiple run-ins with this crazy bitch. An instant later, the trailer concludes with a release window of 2014, and with that, I would like to conclude this trailer analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Let our nation know in the comments below if you noticed anything that I didn't, or if I made any mistakes, and to be further updated on the evil within, be sure to join the nation and subscribe to Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much, and Young out.